In Spanish, we never go out for a simple coffee. We get un cafecito. If you want to fit in, you need to start using diminutives. Today, you'll learn the 4 types of diminutives native speakers use and some of the different meanings they have. Are you ready? Vamos, amiguito. How about we go get a coffee together, right? My treat. A little coffee by that window in that little table. Instead of saying esa mesa, let's say esa mesita. A little table. Very cute. Pay attention to the way you drop the last vowel A. Then add the diminutive. Simple. These small additions called suffixes have to agree in number and gender with the word they modify, okay? So we also have ito, ita, itos, and itas. Feminine, masculine, singular, and plural forms. You got it? That's awesome. This might be the most common, but it's just the start. Look at this. The second diminutive is illo. This one is especially common in Spain. And let me tell you, the Spanish from Spain and Latin America can be very different. I'm a native Spanish speaker, and sometimes even I need subtitles for movies set in Spain. So let's go back to that coffee shop now in Spain, in Toledo or Madrid. If you wanted to say something or you wanted to order something to eat, you could say something like un pan, that's a bread. In Spain would be un panecillo. See the difference? Pan, pancito, panecillo. You can even pronounce it with that very accent, that Spanish accent from Sevilla. Un panecillo, hostia, es muy majo. But hey, let's focus on the most important part. Look at how the word changes, okay? From pan to panecillo. Because pan doesn't end in a vowel, we have to add a little something more to the diminutive, okay? It's not just illo, because panillo sounds very weird, okay? If your word ends in a consonant, the diminutive becomes esillo, okay? It's okay. With some constant practice, this won't be a problem, I promise. Now, number 3, the third one. This is also specific to certain places. This third diminutive is more common in places like Colombia and Venezuela. Yeah. It's ico on ica, which also includes icos and icas, of course. To agree on number and gender with your noun, you have to change it. You have to add the S. You know the drill. So let's say you got your coffee and you want some pastry with it. Okay, a cookie, for example, that's una galleta. Or like my friend Franco would say, una galletita. With our first and most common diminutive, that would be, what do you think? Una galletita, right? Una galletita. Correcto, the first one. But in Colombia and Venezuela, you'll probably hear something like this. Una galletica. It's different, see? And again, we just drop the last vowel and add the special ending galletica, drop the vowel. Fantastic. Now we have one more, the fourth and final one. This one is a diminutive, is less common, okay? But it's useful to be aware of it, in case, you're there in the wild using your Spanish happy and you hear something like that and you're like, what? That's not a, no, it is a diminutive, okay? So look at this. Instead of ito, illo, or ico, the last one is in or ina. What? You can use it, for example, to describe a little kid. It's not just pequeño, little, right? Or pequeñito, with the most common ending. Like, I'm pequeñito, like this shirt to speak. And you can also say pequeñín. Cute, right? Pequeñín. And speaking of cute, this is a great moment to talk about all the different uses we have for diminutives, okay? Like I told you at the start, it's not just to say that things are small. To get started, yes, that's the most common use. For example, a little dog, the ones that are surprisingly aggressive, that's not just un perro, right? That's un perrito, perrito, bonito perrito. We change the last vowel for the diminutive, little perrito, very cute. But that's not the only option. Sometimes we use these fun little additions to talk about things that aren't necessarily small. Adding a diminutive can be a display of affection. We use it when talking about things or people we love. For example, something super common, talking about your family members. You've probably heard this before. When native speakers talk about their grandparents, hey, it's not just abuelo o abuela, it's abuelita. So cute. Instead of abuela, we wouldn't say abuela. That's heartbreaking. For my grandma, horrible. And it has nothing to do with her size or the size of your grandparents. They told they're small, that doesn't matter. Because we love them. Because we're speaking with affection and we use diminutives. Okay? By the way, my Mexican friends, many friends call me Juanito. You can call me Juanito. Put Juanito in the comments. Juanito, te queremos. All right. And now let's do one more. And this is very interesting. Sometimes we also use diminutive to be polite. What does that mean? It means it's a way to soften requests. To be a little kinder, it's very polite. To make things nicer in general. Let's see with an example, okay? Let's say someone's calling you, but you're right in the middle of work, okay? To say, wait a moment, that would be very rude in Latin America, like, espera un momento. Oh my God, you're angry, like, that can just be like so hard, so cold. We're not like that. We love to dance. We would say something like, ¿me das un momentito? Right? Un momentito. It's soft. It's relaxed. Yeah, espera un momentito. That's so kind. You could say un momentico, un momentito. Hey, you can try both kinds of diminutive there. You can break the rules. And if that sentence sounds a little weird because we say espera instead of esperas, that's because it's an order or request. It's what we call imperative mood in Spanish. So make sure you go watch our video about it in our channel so you can use them confidently, okay? You can click the link in the description, okay? So if you did this, trust me, you'll sound so much like a native Spanish speaker, okay? It might seem like a lot, but trust me, a little bit of practice and all of this different diminutives will flow so naturally. To make things better, why don't you start practicing right now? Go in the comments of this video and leave one word with a diminutive. Juanito, te queremos muchito. Gatito, carrito, librito, taquitos. Go wild! Try something fun. I'll read and reply to all your comments. And of course, before you leave, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next videos. Because now that you know the diminutives, the next step is mastering augmentative, changing words to make things seem bigger than they are. So what do you say? I'll see you soon. Claro que sí. Nos vemos. Chao.